Hello and welcome everyone to the August 2023 Yarn Young Adult Worship. Yeah, it's so great to have you all. Thank you for joining us, however you are. Of course, we are recording this, so if you do not want to be on the video, you probably won't be because we'll be spotlighting stuff all the time. So I wouldn't really worry about it. But if you want to be extra safe, of course, turn it off. But for now, my name is Joe Chapeau. I am the outgoing Yarn paid staff person. And tonight we'll be doing a worship that will culminate in a blessing for our new community director, Carol Maciel, who is here and will be joining us. But for now, kick back and relax. I'm going to pop into the chat. We have an order of service you can follow along with, as well as if you are new to Yarn, you can sign up to get our newsletter as well as reminders about the worship that we send via email. If you're not, join the Discord if you haven't yet. And yeah, we're just gonna get into it. So I think I'm a little blurry. Oh, that's better. So for now, we're gonna do our chalice lighting. So our chalice lighting is "The End is the Beginning" by Katie Savani Gelfand. And it goes: We call forth the life of our faith by igniting our chalice. This spark of new beginnings invites us into a sacred space to reflect where we have been and where we are going. Even knowing that this particular flame will intentionally end with our ritual extinguishing, we fear not its end. For we know with brave hearts that from every ending of our lives, we set forth to make new beginnings. So I invite you now to sing along at home for our opening hymn, Spirit of Life. There'll be lyrics in the video as well as at the bottom of the order of service. So now we have a meditation that we found for new beginnings. So I invite you to get sit up a little maybe or lie fully down, get yourself really grounded and seated. Take a big breath in, stretch your arms out if you need to. Oh. And just breathe.
Hello there. If you're gearing up for a fresh start, this is a great practice to get grounded, get your mind and body ready for new beginnings. Let's drop in here and check in with our breath. Sitting up nice and tall, allowing for energy and strength to freely flow up and down the spine, giving space between each vertebra. Sink into being very mindful and present to whatever is going on at this moment. Let's take a few cleansing breaths. Breathe in fully, retain at the top for a second, and exhale completely. Again, breathe in, retain, let it all out. As they say, out with the old, in with the new. On your next round of breath, notice the feel of the breath, the cool breath coming in, and as you hold, notice the fullness of your belly and chest. And as you breathe out, notice the warmth of the air flowing out. Immerse yourself fully in just the coolness of the breath in and the warmth of the breath out. Simply noticing, witnessing, and being present. Take a second to acknowledge who you've become so far in your life journey. Send a little gratitude to all the lessons and experiences you've had. Now, respectfully, let go of the past. Let go of the ego. Let go of the desire to control. Let go of all that's been holding you back, and let go of any unwanted energy. You are here right now to create a new reality, a new beginning for yourself. One that is filled with joy, love, peace, acceptance, hope, and vitality. Fill your heart and mind with this fresh start energy. Maybe with an intention or mantra, maybe a visualization, or perhaps a feeling. Whatever feels right for you, you can't go wrong here. Connect with it and simply feel this energy for a few solid, full breaths. Bravely lean into and ask yourself, where do you want to go with this energy? You already know what to do moving forward. You have everything you need within you to make the right decisions. There are no restrictions holding you back, and your opportunities are endless. Your fresh start can happen at any moment you choose. As part of any good new beginning, pay attention to your thoughts and see if you can reshape them to set yourself up for this new journey. Pay attention to how you speak to yourself and how you see yourself. Your thoughts become your words, which become your actions, and then your habits, right? Isn't that how that saying goes? So see if you can sit with this energy, this feeling. Guide your thoughts towards kindness and self-love. Stay as long as you want And remember, this is always here for you whenever you need. Thanks for taking a few minutes reflecting on yourself, and good luck to a fresh new you. Until next time, have a good one.
Becoming a Marine. I'm not sure how to pronounce this person's last name, but Becoming a Marine by Susan Magan. He's not where he is supposed to be. He should be practicing sprints in the desert sun with all the other aspiring Marines. But instead, he is here, retreating into the quiet shade of the chaplain's office, the one person who won't yell at him. Since he was 7 years old, he wanted to be a Marine, someone who heard the call to protect and serve. He came here with a mission to become a man of integrity, strength, and faith. But today, he can't think one thought at a time or follow the commands as quickly as they come. In his first 2 weeks of training, he has been worn down. The panic-inducing yelling haunts him. His day starts with a piercing wake-up call. The yelling demands his maximum effort at every meal, every mountainous hike, every 3-mile sprint, every angle of his feet and direction of his gaze. His penance for delayed obedience is doing push-ups in a cloud of dust and scream, all made worse by the complete absence of anything familiar. No loving faces, no calls, no texts, no letters. I know the backstory to this whole scene. I have watched thousands of young men walk through these fires unconsumed. We are here in the safety of sunny San Diego, doing our professional best to simulate the stress of war for the sake of training. More importantly, I know and love the hearts of the Marines behind the relentless yelling. They work hard to be that scary and miss their kids. His childhood idea of what it means to be a Marine and the reality of what it takes to actually become a Marine have met here at recruit training, and it's not a joyful union. So he sits before me and tearfully presents all the grinding evidence for why he can't do it. Because it is too big and he is too small. Because he should be home with his family, in his town, his room. Because he is not ready. Maybe next year. I listen to it all until we sit in silence. We both heard it happen. How he just tried to convince both of us of something untrue. We wait together. Then I break the news we both already know. You can do this.
Now, I will offer you the reflection that has to do with my service to yarn. So, I am Carol, and some of you might have noticed my name across yarn social media for the past weeks, and that is because I am serving as a community director. And at the same time, I'm experiencing my own Unitarian Universalist journey, which has started relatively recently, but it has been very intense in many ways. And what I hope and expect is that we can grow together as young adults, as human beings, and that we can grow together in faith and face the challenges and all the ups and downs of our time, what we were experiencing collectively. And I really hope that we can make meaningful readings of our history, of our UU heritage, and and work on writing our own history through our own hands and efforts as young adults across the globe. I'm a little bit nervous, as you can notice, but that was my introduction, my hopes and aspirations. That is going to be something that we are going to do together. And thank you for trusting me, and thank you for being here with me along this journey.
So, you know that phrase, stepping up, stepping back. It's it's meant to like encourage people to step up and participate in activity, but also make sure they don't, dominate the space, to step back. Well, I'm someone who really likes to step up. And when something really strikes my fancy, I go all in. When I was first hired at the San Francisco congregation to create a young adult program, I took everything I had learned about event management and community creation and dove into the work. I tried a lot of things. I had great successes and some failures, but no one could deny that I was giving it my all. With creating yarn, though, I was a bit more hesitant. This was a much bigger endeavor, and I was risking so much because I was risking myself. this is an idea that I had. And it requires when you want to be vulnerable when they're putting an idea that they have out there. It also didn't help that I wasn't properly medicated at the time. I have anxiety. But once COVID hit and the lockdowns began, all bets were off. We put on, in just a few months, we put on Conline, we blew up a General Assembly, and that summer, the previous project that I had started became the Young Adult Revival Network. Unfortunately for us stepper uppers, while it's a great quality in a leader, it does make it hard to step back. Case in point, my somewhat abrupt departure from the San Francisco Society this spring. Truth is, I was burnt out and waiting for an exit. I had hoped to stay a little longer, but it came a little sooner than I hoped. And of course, once I stopped working there, I stopped getting paid to work on yarn. But I kept doing it because this is my baby and I love it. But I did know that it was time to work to give it up. I'm 34. I'm getting up there in my years. No longer in that life stage where I'm figuring out this being adult thing. Although that doesn't ever really stop. I have a good sense of myself and the world. I also, God bless you, young adults, just don't care as much as I used to in the best possible way. The things that used to bother me, that used to enrage and sadden me, the incredible emotional highs and lows, they just don't happen like they used to and don't impact me like they used to in the same way when I was young. I got a great friend in their early 20s, and I keep telling her to just not care as much as she should about that one guy or that one thing. But I also know it's a lesson that takes a long time to learn and a lifetime to master. I am a young adult still, but definitely an older one. But like any good leader, I'm not going to abandon this project. You see, when I create something, when I organize and build an organization, I keep Steve Jobs in mind. The brilliant and flawed founder of Apple Computers didn't just want to make computers accessible for regular humans, but he wanted to build a company that would endure beyond him. I wanted to build Yarn so that it would endure, that it would break the cycle of creation and destruction that has plagued the Unitarian, Universalist, young adult community for generations. Am I still worried this could all come crashing down? Hell yeah, brother. But I know I can't do this forever. I have to let it go. I have to let it live on its own. But I wanted it to endure. So we built a working group and then a board. We built a fundraising operation. We built programs, a website, a Discord. We built so many things. And most importantly, we put people in places to run these things, to fill these seats. But there was one more seat to fill. Mine. Not this literal chair, I'm keeping it, Carol, but my figurative seat. I couldn't leave it empty. But I also didn't want people to think that someone was going to fill my shoes. I wanted someone to have a new start. And so we put the word out for a community director, for someone to take on just managing this growing Unitarian Universalist young adult community. And while there were many great candidates, the most surprising person answered the call. Folks, I am so happy that Carol Maciel is your new community director. Carol, like me, is a stepper-upper. Carol is bringing Unitarian Universalism to Brazil. Carol is someone who sees something worth doing and throws themselves at it. You can't teach someone to be like that. They have to find it in themselves. And Carol, it also helps that Carol is much younger than me, in their 20s, and not a dude. Much more representative of this beautiful community we're creating. But ultimately, this is the goal. It's to pass yarn down ongoingly to the new young adults. All that's left for me to do now, as an old person, is get some dentures, turn on cable TV, and throw my hard-earned money at yarn. I have nothing much left to offer. Quite frankly, I'm out of ideas. I don't know what this community wants, and quite frankly, don't care. Again, in the best possible way, because this is your community now. So I invite you to grab it by the reins and make something with it. But if you need some advice or guidance, I'm still available. I ain't going anywhere just yet. Just stay off my lawn. Have a great time.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you for trusting me and trusting the crazy journeys that I've been into, and all the experimental part of this journey is something that some people don't really trust, but you did, and I'm grateful for that. When you start something from scratch, you get a lot of weird stares, but it's worth it, and I'm really grateful to be able to represent and put my energy into it and to interact with you all. That is very important, and to foster that sense of community, because it's something that I don't really have here. I'm the youngest person in my congregation. We have a couple more young adults, but they're mostly older adults, and I'm thankful for their efforts as well, because they started doing this when I wasn't even born yet. But as he said, it's time to step up. And once again, I'm thankful. Yeah.
So happy. We'll do another song, and then I invite everyone to participate in our blessing of the new leader. This is not a sing-along. All right. So, if you did not attend the final session of General Assembly this year, or General Assembly at all, we anointed a new leader of the Unitarian Universalist Association, our new president, the Reverend Sophia Bentancur. And every time we do this, because the last time was in 2017, I was at that one as well, we do this blessing called the laying of the hands. And it's really, really beautiful and amazing. But we're not physically together. So I managed to find the kind of the base version, and I modified it to try to fit a Zoom call. So I invite you all to perhaps turn on your gallery view if you're going to watch. If you're watching later on, I'm not going to show other people, um but play along with me. Let us come together in the spirit of covenant, offering our hands and our hearts' consent. As we begin, join me in placing your hands over your heart. Feel its precious beating. Feel to the stirring of your spiritual heart. Let its compassion and wisdom radiate into your receiving hands. Hands, when in service to the human spirit, have the power to bless. With touch that heals, touch that comforts. Hands, when pledged in covenant to serve our neighbors, have the power to transform through service that strengthens and through service that liberates. Hands, even distant, can support one another with words and deeds and prayers that resonate across time and space. We, the ministering hands of our religious tradition and the ministering hands of this community, unite in our support of the person called to lead this community, Carol Maciel. I now invite Carol to open their arms by their sides, hand facing up, ready to receive. And I now invite anyone watching now or in the future to offer their hand. And I will now offer this prayer. Beloved mystery, spirit of love and light, let ours be praying hands, reaching out with blessed energy, rising in our souls and offering it freely in service to the shared ministry between Carol and Yar. May this community find their strength and beauty reflected back in their relationship with their leader. May their leader, empowered by this spiritual gift, give voice to the community's inspiring message and be a sustaining presence bearing faithful witness to its vision. Let the spirit-filled light of this religious community pour into every room and shine forth from every window as a beacon of welcome to all hands and of hospitality to all souls. Carol, you have been chosen to lead a global community of Unitarian Universalist young adults, but you are not alone. There are so many people whom you will inspire and be inspired by. May your journey and ours be blessed with all the light and love in this world. Amen. Thank you all for being here and making that happen. And thank you to anyone in the future watching who pours their spirit into this cup. We're now going to close by singing hymn number 1. May nothing evil cross this door. There's lyrics in the video and in the order of service.
May nothing evil cross this door, and may your fortune never pry about these windows. May the roar and rain go by. By faith made strong, the rafters will withstand the battering of the storm. This hearth of the world grow chill will keep you warm. Peace shall walk softly through these rooms, touching our lips with holy wine, till every casual corner blooms into a shrine. With laughter drown the raucous shout, and though these sheltering walls are thin, may they be strong to keep hate out and hold love in.
Folks, thanks for joining me today. I invite you to stick around afterwards for coffee hour or whatever beverage is appropriate at this time. For our closing words, I'm going to read a little bit from the classic book, Oh, the Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss. Just needed to finish loading because I found a PDF of it online. Here we go. On and on. Oh, wait. I should share the image because, of course, on and on you will hike. And I know you'll hike far and face up to your problems, whatever they are. You'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. You'll get sure to be so be sure when you step with care and great tact, and remember that life's a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft, and never mix up your right foot from your left. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98.75% guaranteed. Kid, you'll move mountains. So, be your name Buxbaum or Bixby or Bray or Mordecai Ali Van Allen O'Shea, you're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. That's the last one. Got a little tiny bit of music left. Oh yeah, before I go,